Hello everyone. Thanks for coming. And in this short presentation, I want to describe the elements I use in I use in one of my mathematics courses called discrete math. So let me just share my screen, and I will use the same method I use or the same type of presentation I use in the live lectures. So usually I go to the Zoom, and then I share the screen of the iPad or the tablet I'm using, and which substitutes for the real whiteboard. So now, can you please let me know if you can see my whiteboard?
Yes, now we can.
Yeah, okay. So yes, so I want to talk about different activities I do in delivering the material of the course to my students. So let me tell you first, what course is it I'm talking about. It's called, the course is called Discrete Mathematics. Okay. And just a brief introduction to this course. This is an introductory course to the world of mathematics. It's a second-year course. People from math, students from math major, computer science, computer engineering, they take this course. And what topics are covered here? So we start with logic. We learn the language of logic and how to write mathematical proofs. So these are, if you want, this is the language using which we express our thoughts in math. We also cover topics such as set theory, number theory, and other areas. Okay, so this course, if you want, it introduces you to the world of mathematics that is not known to the general public. Like usually the word math is thought to be like calculating numbers or maybe engineering calculus. But math is a huge world, and you can put it in the same category as art or poetry or literature. So it talks about, or philosophy. So this is what the course will introduce to the students. It will introduce them to these areas of math which is not known to the general public. So let me, I just want to share my hands-on experience on how do I deliver the material of this course to the students. So first, I used a pre-recorded lectures. So okay, and so I usually, like for every topic or for every lecture, I record 2 to 3 short videos. Okay, and I use both Panopto. Sometimes I use Panopto, and sometimes I use Zoom to record these videos. So I just do a Zoom meeting with my own and record it, and then share the link with the students. And the advantage of Panopto is that you can track the attendance or the activity of the students. So, and once these videos are recorded, then I use them in future semesters, in next semesters. The next tool I use is live lectures. So I try to, I insist of making live lectures during the course time. So these are held via Zoom. Okay, and one main advantage or benefit of live lectures is that you encourage the students to keep on track in the course. So we do live lectures, and in these live lectures, we do a quick revision. So I just make sure that the students understood the material from the recorded videos. I ask different students every time to share their so let me just read. Julien, yes, sure. Yeah, I can, and maybe that we can use recorded videos in next semester and maybe on YouTube. Okay, so we do a quick revision and we do a discussion. So I ask students, like different questions on measuring their understanding of the notions covered in the material. And I also give them the floor to ask me any questions they want about the material. We also do some exercises. Okay, together. So it's like this live lecture is a mix of a discussion, revision, problem session, and office hours. Okay, and what do I want to say that here I really try hard to encourage the students to turn on their camera, because I mean seeing their faces and they themselves seeing the faces of each other is really important. Like we lost this feature when we moved to online teaching. I would say that usually half of the class will turn on the camera and the other half, they have problems. Either they are shy or they have problems with the internet. Okay, so these are the main elements, but there are others. Like I use like maybe a typed set of notes, so which took me like maybe 2 years to finish. And these like typeset notes, I send them to all students, and so they have all the details of the lecture there, and they don't need to take any notes during the lecture. All what they need to do is just give me their full attendance or concentration, so they can follow the live lectures without worrying about taking notes. I can maybe show you the notes after I finish. Okay, and I used like a typesetting software called LaTeX, or maybe it's not a software, it's a this LaTeX is used mainly for scientific writing, and I also ask the students to write their course project using LaTeX. Okay, and next, what else do I use? I use Blackboard Announcements. Okay, and this is the main place, or the one place where they can find any announcements about their about important events of the course. So I say which videos, which recorded videos to watch for the next lecture through the BB announcements, and the dates of the exams, the dates of problem sessions, all important announcements will be in that place. So I ask them to check it regularly. I also use Blackboard online quizzes. So I make like short quizzes, multiple choice questions or true or false questions, easy questions. The main purpose of these quizzes is just to keep the students on track in the course. So I ask them to study the material and understand it week by week. Okay, and I'm also using a Gradescope to, like me with and the TA, we ask students to submit their assignments and the online exams on Gradescope, so they can check our comments there and they can check their grade there. And I find it's a bit easier to manage the scanned papers of the students, and you can put a rubric on Gradescope. So if a mistake is repeated by different students, you don't need to every time introduce it. You just use the same rubric you used in the first time, and then keep using it in different students' papers. Okay, and finally, I just want to say that I make every time I make a WhatsApp group for all the students, and in this WhatsApp group, like 3 undergraduate TAs join, and they join through the work study program of the university. So this is like a paid job for these senior TAs, and their main task is just to answer the questions of the students on the group. So whenever students are stuck in studying or doing their assignments, they can post their question on this group, and the TAs, one of the TAs will answer in a very short time. So it's like a hotline for the course. And it's very beneficial. Also, I ask the students to answer each other. So it's like a platform for discussion between the students and the TAs. So I'll stop here and take your questions. Thanks. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Dr. Daoud, I actually had a question.
Yes.
Do you have any advice as to how to encourage students to turn on their cameras? Because even 50% is great. Lots of instructors cannot get that.
Okay, so I keep saying that turning on the camera is beneficial to both of us. Like, I prefer to see student faces instead of black Zoom boxes. And I think them turning on the camera will force them to concentrate more on the screen. Like, maybe if the camera is off, they can play with their mobile or be distracted by other sources. Well, many students want to turn it on, but when they turn it on, they have bad connection. So I can't proceed in this scenario. But most students, like, I have maybe in each section, like maybe 7 students or 10 students who always turn their camera, and I keep thanking them. Like, I say, thanks to you. I would like to thank them because they are making my online teaching easier. So I keep saying how important is it to see their faces. I really say this every lecture.
Dr. Daoud, can you show us the notes of the LaTeX?
Yes, sure. Okay, so I put the, so this is the Blackboard content, and then here I have one of the tabs is lecture notes. It takes them to my web page. And here I put the lecture notes of my courses, but like I was talking about discrete math. And when you click to this, on this link, you will see, sorry, these are the lecture notes, and like they are 200 pages. It took me a lot. And this is like the contents. So I have chapter on logic, chapter on set theory, number theory, combinatorics, and so on. So for example, if you choose relations, like the last chapter, this is the so this is the notes of this chapter. They don't need to, they have it. They have all the notes for the course, so they don't need to worry about taking notes during the lecture. And
thank you very much. This was great. It saves a lot of time for the students because many of them are always worried about the notes, and that if the live class is recorded, then they will have to go back to the recording to take proper notes. So you're saving a lot of time for them to watch the live video twice.
exactly, yes. I when I was a student, lecture notes really helped me. So I like to do the same to my students.
Yes.
It makes a difference.
They're very organized.
Yes, this is, it took me, like, I spent the whole summer last summer to finalize them, and it took me like a year and a half to extract the material from the literature.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Dean is writing a comment for you about Gradescope on the chat box.
Yes, yes, about Gradescope.
Yeah, she said that she doesn't know about Gradescope for math. So is it easy to use in mathematical courses?
So I think Gradescope is so what I have is what I do, I ask my students to submit their work via scanned their scanned copy of their work on Gradescope, and as a PDF file, and then we see, like me and my TAs, we see their work, and then you say, you look at question number 1, you say it receives 4 out of 5, so you just click on like 4, so you just grade by clicking on which rubric you want to assign to each question, and once you assign the grade of all the questions, then you get the final grade. I think it's maybe the best I saw so far in online grading. And I think it can be connected with Blackboard, but this is a university decision, I think. Like you need to buy the license. But so far I use it for free, the Gradescope.
So you point out the parts on the PDF that you would like to give them feedback on and refer back to the rubric, right?
Yes, so on Gradescope, you can give the grade, you can write comments, you can in the rubric, you can say like -1 because of this mistake, -half because of that mistake, and so on. So the student, this saves time for students to know why they were deducted marks.
Yes, instead of
So
asking like the same question about the marks.
Exactly. So before, I used to just do personal Zoom meetings just to discuss the graded exam of different students who want to ask about their own paper.
Yeah.